Уехать. Уехать куда? Куда ты собираешься ехать?
And you think it's important to tell me or something?
Yeah, I was going. Of course it is, and I'm just about to tell you as soon as I just got through.
All right. What about the restaurant?
Well, I think the restaurant's going to do just fine. I mean, it'll hang tough until it sells. Got a job in Nevada as a deputy sheriff. It's got a probationary thing. Just on my plan not to screw up. It's just a state away, Dad. It's practically next door.
Yeah. What about Johnny?
Well, Johnny, it's a small town, you know. He's a kid. He makes a lot of friends. It's not gonna be a big problem. It's not like they don't have any kids in Nevada.
Oh, I'm sure. They got lots of kids in Nevada. What about Jane? Huh?
Well, Dad, I wouldn't have made the decision unless I thought it all through. So just give me some credit, okay?
Sure. Sure, I'll give you credit. I guess what I really mean, son, is what about me?
Don't let them find her.
Don't let them find who, sweetheart? Who are you racing to call this time?
I guess the cat's out of the bag.
Whose cat?
Well, yours, actually. I got up this morning to feed Fred and Laertes, and one of us must have left the window open because I couldn't find Laertes anyplace. He's gone.
What do you take me for?
Keith, I'm telling you the truth. I was just calling the pound to see if he was picked up. You know how he is around other animals. They fight like cats and dogs.
I'm gonna call up the pound to pick you up if you're expecting to believe this crock. I put CC on the stand, and you were out here to call the dog catcher? Huh?
Oh, look. Well, Kelly and Jeffrey Conrad. I certainly hope they don't have to put off their wedding plans because of this trial.
Well, nobody's guest list. What's it to you?
Just what is it that you want?
I want to win this trial.
Fine, be my guest. Don't let me stop you.
I won't. Keep that in mind. In case you got something up your sleeve.
What are you talking about? Who are you?
My name is Pamela Trapwell Conrad.
I'm sorry, that's impossible. Let me see your face.
No.
Someone showed me a picture of her. I would know her.
Who? It wouldn't have been Jeffrey, would it? Certainly not CC. Meyson, he told you about me?
He told me that his mother had a disease and that she was devastated and that she ended her own life.
Tried and failed, as with so many other things.
Why won't you show me your face?
Do I look like my picture? As you can see, there is life after death. And disease, too. Please don't be frightened. It's not contagious.
I'm not frightened.
You're a lovely young woman. I hope, I'm sure you can understand how a woman who was always considered quite beautiful could easily go a little mad if suddenly, without warning, her beauty was destroyed.
Yes, I can.
But not mad enough to murder my own daughter. My own beautiful daughter whom I loved. What's the matter? Can't I drive you away? You're supposed to have run screaming out of the room by now.
I have a ton of questions, but they're really none of my business. So I'll ask you the one that I came here with. What were you doing there the night Helena was murdered?
So then Daddy's testimony was the most damaging of all.
Yeah, Sophia hustled him out of here before he could get at Keith's throat.
Listen, you're doing everything you can for Cruz, you know.
So what, there are more surprises? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, as a matter of fact, Julia's working on something. If it pans out, well, I'll be surprised as anyone.
Cruz?
I said I'm all right, Eden.
Would you look at me?
You better move back before the DA thinks you're trying to break me out of here.
Look at me. None of this counts for anything. Remember that.
The hell it doesn't.
I mean it. You didn't kill Elena So the more they find out, the more it goes in your favor. Besides, I'm not going to let anything happen to you.
I don't think you're going to have that much to say about it.
Oh, well, no, that's where you're wrong. If I have to scream bloody murder from every rooftop, I will.
I know. I know.
Listen to me. You just have to get through this today. 2 hours at the most.
Just sit here and let this happen, is that
Yes.
it? Mm-hmm.
Don't let him drive you crazy. He wants you to lose control.
Yeah, well, he may just get his wish.
Cruz, no. The only thing he has is the fact that you were there. And the fact that Elena is blaming you. The rest is hypothetical. Don't let it be true. Don't let him get to you.
Eden, he's taken me away from you. Now, what's left?
What is the recess over?
Ready to go back into the blender, Cruz?
Sure.
Mason says things are going to turn around, Cruz.
Yeah, great. That's good.
Cruz, have faith. In me, if nothing else.
Get her seated near you, Jeffrey, before Keith has us all cited for contempt.
Hey, look, I wouldn't worry. He seems to be holding up pretty well, considering.
Is that what you thought, too?
You okay? How's the little woman? Hi, Victoria, the next witness.
Said she'd be here.
All rise.
I didn't even have to issue an award.
Court is now in session.
Defense counsel's wife.
Miss Capwell?
Oh, Mr. Kane.
Hi, I thought that was you.
Are you staying here now?
No, I'm waiting for a friend.
Really? So am I. Actually, I'm picking one up. A girlfriend of mine is in town from back east. I'm playing tour guide while she's here.
That's nice.
Not a very good tour guide, though, because I managed to get myself on the wrong floor. Well, I better go. Bye.
Bye.
Then you didn't see anything.
No, and I didn't kill anyone either.
It's not necessary to protest your innocence, Mrs. Conrad. No one's accusing you of anything.
Oh, in that case, Miss Wainwright, what can I add to your case?
I was not fond of Elena, but I am truly sorry that she's dead.
How gracious of you.
Mrs. Conrad, an innocent man is on trial for his life. And if I can prove that somebody else was there that night, he may have a chance.
You mean throw suspicion on someone else? So it puts a reasonable doubt in the minds of the jury? No, thank you, Miss Wainwright. I used to regard self-sacrifice as a way of life. How else did I come to be poised on the rail of a bridge, looking hundreds of feet down into the water in the middle of the night? Not that I could see into the water at that time of night. That's why I picked it. But I could see the lights from the riverside, reflected far away in the deep. That's when I discovered that I could do very nicely without my sacrifices, and people could do without them too. So I turned over a new leaf. Or rather, it turned me over.
If you never saw your daughter that night, how did you know where she'd go?
Oh, Miss Wainwright, you're what my first husband used to call a tough broad.
Takes one to know one.
Mason will never let me on that stand. And it's his case, isn't it? What are you, his law partner?
No. We work together at the same firm, and we are both friends of the defendant.
What's his wife like?
Whose?
Victoria. She's making a film here, isn't she? She looks very beautiful in her pictures.
Yes, she is.
I have nothing to do all day but read newspapers. I'm the best informed woman in America. Are they happy?
Seems to me if it mattered to you at all, you would have come to Mason long ago and found out for yourself.
Don't you dare to presume to tell me what I should or shouldn't have done.
Fine, then I will tell you what you will do right now. There is a man standing outside the door, and he will keep you here under lock and key until you are called to testify.
No.
Yes. There is a witness who saw you leave, and that is enough for me to get a subpoena if I need one.
Mason won't allow it, I tell you.
What makes you think that anyone will ask his permission? I will be back.
Well, it's nice to know at least he hasn't changed.
Meyson? How would you know?
Oh, you're his type. I can see that.
Maybe it's because of the house and the restaurant. They got me all roped up in here too tight. Or maybe it's because I just found out that my roots put me right smack in the middle between two warring families. I don't know, Dad. Every time I try to do something, I mean, I'm torn in 1,000 different directions, you know? Dad, I'm tired of analyzing it. That's it. I'm tired of beating my head against the wall here and trying to make it work. I've got a dream. It's a beautiful dream, and I got to go out there and make it happen.
And I guess you gotta go.
Thank you. I don't think I deserve it. I was going to ask for your blood.
Deserve it? Deserve it? You deserve the best. And that's what you're gonna get. You and Johnny are gonna get the best. Hey, you think you're not gonna see me? Since when did your old man ever worry about a couple of 100 miles? Huh?
Better keep that spare room in that big old mansion of yours.
Spare room? You and Johnny and a fair-sized rodeo can come whenever you want.
Hi.
Hey, Jane.
Hey, don't worry about the restaurant, okay? I'm going to take care of this. Just...
Yeah, listen, you don't have to do anything, because I pay people to take care of this place, you know?
Oh, well, here's one guy that you don't have to pay who can keep his eye on the rest of them. You understand? And I think I'll go in and make an announcement to that effect right now, because you don't know how power mad I can be. Come on, you guys. Hey, come on.
Well, at first I thought Lila changed his mind.
No, just polishing up a few things here, that's all.
Hey, you don't have to run away. I'm not going to try to change your mind. I know I can't do that.
I'm sorry. I'm really not handling this at all very well here.
Hey, it's hard. I understand that. But there is something you can do for me.
You anything. Me.
Take me with you.
What on earth? Are you all right?
Yes, how did you get in here?
I came into the window in the bedroom. What happened? Was Julia here? There's someone right outside your door.
Yes.
Well, what happened?
We had a semi-cordial conversation, and she announced to me that she was going to call me as a witness in the Elena Nicholas trial.
Oh, no. What did you say?
What could I say?
Well, they're going to find out who you are.
She already knows. I told her.
What? What, did you just cave in just like that?
Will you please get out of those things? You look ridiculous. Well, if you'll excuse me for saying so.
Well, brace yourself, honey. Come on, I'm going to get you out of here.
Gina, dear, you can go skating up and down walls like a human fly if you like. But just for now, I'm going to keep the carpet under my feet, if you don't mind.
What is making you feel so superior? Don't you realize you need me? And what about our plan?
What plan? Oh, yes. You had some vague notion you were going to get your son back from CC? I never did have any idea how it was going to work.
It would work if I was the only one who knew where you were and who you were.
Well, circumstances intervened.
You just don't care, do you?
Yes, I do care. This isn't the way I wanted to present myself to Meyson and Jeffrey. But it's much better that I don't disappear again. Who is it?
Room service just brought up your tea. I'll bring it in if you open the door.
Your Honor, I'm sure that...
Your Honor, I see no reason to call my witnesses out of order.
I see no reason to delay this trial any further. Why wasn't Mrs. Capwell sequestered with the rest of the witnesses?
I'm sure that Victoria will be here at any minute.
Why don't you call your co-counsel, Counselor?
Yes. If you intend by this ploy to be allowed to cross-examine your own wife, I'm not falling for it.
Thank you.
I'm embarrassed to say I don't know where Ms. Wainwright is.
10-minute recess. The last one I intend to grant in this trial.
Put out an APB for your wayward women. No. Excuse me, no fraternizing with the defendant. What, you got amnesia or something? Have you forgotten your orders? Cruz, take it easy, man.
Mason, look, I'm sorry I'm late.
Where the hell have you been?
I said I was sorry.
Keith was ready to put out a warrant on you.
Look, this is very difficult for me. You should understand that.
It's only difficult because you're making it difficult. What you know about this case wouldn't fit in a thimble.
Really? What about me and Cruz? What about the baby?
Keith won't dredge that up, Victoria. He knows nothing about it.
Keith wants to destroy me. You should know that, Mason.
Victoria, you're overreacting to this. I'm not going to let him badger you. Just try to relax. Try to stick to yes or no answers, will you?
All right. I'm sorry. What happened?
Well, I managed to buy us another 10 minutes. What did you find out? Victoria, would you wait inside? I'll be in a minute.
Fine.
Did you find the woman with the veil?
Yes.
Brava. Who is she and can she help us?
Maybe. And maybe not.
Mr. Capwell, are you ready?
We better get inside.
I've known Cruz for many years, since high school. Exactly the same time you've known him.
You knew him a little bit better than I, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a relationship, yes.
Which ended when the bright lights drew you to Hollywood. That's sort of the way you tell it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the way it happened.
So, a little over a year ago when you came to Santa Barbara, you saw that he was in love with someone else, right?
He seemed to be, yes.
I beg your pardon.
He was, and I was very happy for Cruz and for Eden.
Was happy. Right. What form did your relationship take to Cruz then?
We were friends.
Had your feelings changed?
My feelings were that we were friends.
But you wanted it to be more, didn't you?
Watch him. What's he trying to do?
No.
Well, I have here statements, thank you, of two employees of the Orient Express saying that you and Eden Capel argued publicly more than once. She even gave instructions to have you barred from the premises.
Objection! Hearsay. This line of questioning is irrelevant.
Sustained.
Your Honor, I'm trying to show that the witness's experience offers a parallel. I believe that the defendant's behavior towards Victoria Capel will shed light on his actions towards the deceased.
All right, Mr. Timmons. I'll reserve my ruling until I see where you're going with this. State your question, please.
Isn't it true, Mrs. Capwell, that the intense rivalry between you and Eden Capwell forced Cruz Castillo to ask you to leave town?
It was an awkward situation.
Awkward?
Situation, yes.
In an awkward situation? They separated because of it. And he started virtually nothing to get you out of the way, the same way he did with Elaine Nichols. Isn't that true?
Overruled.
Look, I was no threat to Cruz at all. To either one of them.
Well, let's go back to those long days and nights when a storm forced you and Cruz Castillo to land on one of the Channel Islands and take shelter in a lighthouse. What happened then? You were alone, desperate. You cost him the love of his life. Spit it out. He raped you, didn't he?
Objection! No! No, he didn't. No!
Thank you, Mr.
You're welcome.
Wait. I have at least 2,000 cash in my purse. Wouldn't you rather be somewhere else?
No. You know, the room service boy said you were a good tipper, but,
You know, all I have to do is pick up that phone and call hotel security.
Well, then I'll have to call the police, and they'll take you into custody, and I'll tell you, their accommodations aren't as nice as these.
Oh, well. It's worth trying to go through the formalities anyway.
Enjoy your tea.
$2,000 in cash? Well, you're just full of surprises, aren't you? You had your own plan all along, didn't you?
What if I did? It hasn't done me much good, has it? I'm about to be dragged into court, possibly suspected of murder, confronted with my 2 sons in public without a chance to explain how or why. Never did tell me how the trial was going.
Well, it doesn't look very good for Cruz Castillo. It's the man Mason's defending.
Do you think he did it?
No. He's a very nice man. It's really quite sad. Of course, he treats me like dirt sometimes, but no one can be nice to everyone.
But Mason's a very good lawyer, isn't he?
Oh, he's one of the best. I mean, he can do almost anything. You should be very proud to have him as your son. Yeah, I've been thinking it. You really shouldn't worry about being prosecuted for Elena's death. I mean, no one would believe that. Who'd buy it? All you have to do is get up on that stand and tell the jury that you saw someone else sneaking into the back of the Laser Palace carrying a gun.
Who?
Cece. Let the jury draw their own conclusions.
Which would be what?
Well, either that he did it, or that someone else beat him to it. I mean, after all, for Eden he would. He'd cut down a cart of nuns with a butcher knife if he had to.
Supposing I didn't see him.
Well, did you or didn't you? What difference does it make? The point is, Cece's not on trial. This way, Cruz will get off scot-free, and Cece will just hire himself a battalion of lawyers and start throwing a lot of money around to clear his stinking good name. But it doesn't matter. I mean, after all, Cece deserves it. He's no use to us, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have had it. Given the inflammatory tone of questioning, I don't wonder at the disruption. But if it occurs again, I shall clear the courtroom.
Your Honor, I move that Mrs. Capwell's testimony be stricken from the record as having no bearing on this case. And secondly, that Mr. Timmons be prohibited from casting further aspersions on the witness's character and intimate associations.
Absolutely, Counselor. The state is directed to accord this witness and all witnesses with a proper and seemly respect, and to approach all personal matters of a sensitive nature with decency and restraint.
Well, I apologize to the court and Mrs. Capwell.
However, Mrs. Wainwright, that's about as far as I can go. There does appear to be a rough parallel here, and thus Mrs. Capwell's testimony has as much bearing as any character witness defense intends to call.
Thanks for trying.
Mrs. Capwell, when you can continue, I would ask that you answer that last question.
Mrs. Capwell, did you, have forcible sexual relations with Cruz Castillo?
That isn't what you asked me before.
Isn't it?
Cruz was hurt very bad.
Yes and no. Answer the question. Remember, you're under oath.
It wasn't like you said. I was the one that...
You were the one who what?
I was the one that forced him.
Stop it.
Take your seat, Mr. Capwell.
Are you asking me to believe that Cruz Castillo, who had thwarted the attempts of many armed felons to attack him, was forced into submission by you? Isn't it more likely, Mrs. Capwell, that you're trying to protect your husband's client?
Objection!
No further questions.
Strike that from the record.
Mrs. Caswell, was the defendant ever violent to you?
Never.
Have you ever feared for your life?
No.
Or your safety in all the time that you've known the defendant?
No, of course not, no.
Mrs. Capwell, I know you to be a happily married woman with a baby and a career of your own. And I would regret to think that anything in these proceedings could be construed to put your character or your integrity in doubt. Is there anything that you'd like to add to clarify to the previous testimony?
I love my husband and my child very much. And I do not believe that Cruz would ever hurt anybody.
Thank you.
Meyson, they know. Everybody knows.
What?
They all know about you.
No, they don't. It's fine.
That's a lie. How could they not? All those questions that keep us asking me. Tell I'm sorry. I'm
Victoria,
really,
you don't
really
know.
sorry.
You don't
Meyson,
have to
I
be
ruined the
sorry.
whole thing.
No, you didn't.
Mason, Keith is calling him his next witness.
You'll have to handle it, Julia. I wouldn't be any good anyway. I'm going to take her home.
I hope that you're going to be all right.
Thank you.
Say yes or no. I come with you. I am nobody's responsibility but my own.
Yeah, but what about the future? I mean, we don't even know anything about that. You say you know me. You don't know. I'm mixed up. You don't know me. I mean, one minute I want to have a house with a white picket fence. The next minute I want to go on the stock car circuit. I mean, I think you deserve better than that. I certainly do.
I think I deserve the best, and I think the best is you. I'm not asking you to swear on dying whatever for all time. I do that whole idea scares me to death. I'm just asking you to say yes to the possibility of I'm dying whatever.
God, man, lucky.
Baby, luck has nothing to do with this.
You're right.
We deserve each other.
I say yes. Please. And I love you.
And when Mr. Castillo went back to the Wasatch Mountains, you went with him.
Yes.
Did you find that strange?
No. I don't find grief strange. I don't find wanting to say goodbye to someone you've loved strange.
Is that why you went back to say goodbye?
We were told that Eden was dead, but there was no body. It didn't seem finished to us.
But when you say goodbye in that sense, aren't you generally making room to say hello to somebody else?
Objection. The state cannot establish a non-existent affair by means of a hypothetical question. The prosecution is asking the witness to speculate.
Sustained.
Cruz was not seeing anyone when we were in Utah. I would have known.
Would you have known if he had deep, private feelings for someone that he wanted to conceal from the dear, supposedly departed's family? I think not.
He didn't.
Miss Capwell, are you aware of a letter found in the deceased person's possession?
The defendant said he wrote to your sister after you came back from Utah?
Yes, I read about it in the papers. You seem to have told anyone who would stand around long enough to listen.
Isn't it true that you both thought that Eden was dead at that time?
Yes.
You think that's normal, writing letters to dead people?
Are you asking me to explain normal behavior to you?
Both witness and the prosecution are advised that sarcasm has no place in this courtroom.
I think it must have been another way to reaffirm his commitment to Eden.
By writing a letter to someone unnamed and giving it to another woman?
How much more of this are we going to have to take? The witness has obviously not seen the document in question and is incapable of drawing the conclusions that the counsel is trying to shove down her throat.
And how much more high-handed horse manure are we going to allow to keep this court from hearing the truth?
You can't have it both ways, Mr. Timmons. That the defendant's love for his fiancée was his motive, and that the defendant's imaginary romance with the deceased was also his motive.
Oh, I think Madam Co-Counsel can understand conflicting passions of this kind. Herself being the mother of an illegitimate child. Touche.
Go ahead. Take a swing at me, Timmons.
I want both of you in my chambers now.
Hey, don't be. You made a fool of him.
It's going to take much.
How
sorry, Cruz. I'm fine. No problem, okay?
Dear God, please don't let this break him. If only you'll see him through this, I swear to you. I know they say you shouldn't bargain with God, but I would rather that he should walk free than I should walk at all. That's my prayer to you.
Baby, can you ever forgive me for this? You should have someone beside you every minute for the rest of your life, telling you how precious you are. But I won't be that man. You know I'm never gonna stop holding you in my heart.
I am itching to slap a contempt charge on someone. And whichever one of you brings the next outbreak of guerrilla theater to my courtroom will be the happy recipient. Got it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Along with a very dull but a very real jail sentence. The way the two of you are conducting this trial is a disgrace to your profession.
We're sorry, Your Honor.
Like hell. I'll give you both 5 minutes to compose yourselves and to review in your mind what you learned the first year in law school.
You about finished with this non-case of yours, Timmons?
Oh, I guess.
Yeah, well, you can always say that Cruz fell in love with a zebra, and that's why he did it. I mean, that's an angle you haven't tried yet.
No, I think I'll leave the charms of striped animals for Cruz to discover in prison. I'll be resting my case as soon as we get in there.
It's not your usual wind-up, you know, not with a bang, but a whimper. What have you got up your sweaty little sleeve?
Well, come up and see me sometime. I'll show you.
What now? Another recess?
Ask your sidekick. What do you and Julia have cooking up here?
Soufflés.
How's Victoria?
She's been better. What happened here?
Nothing noteworthy. I don't think Timmons scored any points, though. Are you okay? I'm not sure that you were shocked by the testimony or not.
No, I wasn't. And if you were, I'd rather not discuss it.
Fine, sorry.
I've got some legwork to do. Can you stall until I get back?
Yeah, I can try.
Good. So where's the mystery woman?
Look, the day is almost over. Why don't we just wait till the morning?
Julia, what is this? She's our only chance. Ever since you found her, you've been acting like she's your own private property or something. Look, if you want to spring to surprise yourself, that's fine.
It's not bad.
Well, then tell me where she is. I can find out from Kane or Pearl.
At the Starlight Plaza Hotel, room 114.
Thank you.
Mason!
Yes. Now look, Miss Wainwright, how long do you intend to keep...
Coach you on defendant etiquette. I mean, that stony stare I'm used to, but I think the jury's finding a little ho-hum. Why don't you cry, you know? Smile, weep, something to draw attention, but the right kind of attention.
You're gonna get more of my attention than you know what to do with.
Fine, I look forward to it. 30 years to life. If you're lucky.
Excuse me.
Where's Meissen?
He took the rest of the day off, and if you call it quits, we can all go home.
All right, I'll go back to my knitting.
Why, you just keep your sorry butt away from my client.
I should, he's desperate.
All rise.
I regret that this short delay was required to restore decorum to these proceedings. Mr. Timmons, is the state ready to rest its case?
Not quite, Your Honor. I would like to recall a witness.
Is that witness in the courtroom at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would like to recall Eden Capwell to the stand.
Hey.
That was quick.
No problem. My roommate's going to take the apartment, and I'll just pick up the rest of my stuff after we find a place.
Great. Where's Lionel?
Here's Lionel. Here's. Hey, little man. Hey,
goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, no, don't pay any attention to these guys. I don't think little boys should know words like that. Hey.
You know, Christmas isn't too far away.
Then we better start planning, hadn't we? Yeah. We've been through kind of a lot, haven't we?
There'll be a lot more.
Yeah, come here. Come here. You know what? I'm going to have a turkey the size of New Zealand for Christmas. Make that Thanksgiving, okay?
Okay.
Here.
I love you.
Get over here.
Be happy.
But
Will you guys get out of here? I got to open up for the dinner crowd. Come on, here.
Yeah, I got it.
Come on, goodbye. See you later.
Bye.
Hello? Please open the door. Is anyone here?
She's got to be here. I didn't leave the door.
Hello. I'm sorry to barge in on you this way. The door was open.
I know.
I'll be outside.
I just want to ask you a few questions. My name is Meison Capwell.
I know. Don't.
I'm not here to hurt you. You don't have to be afraid of me, you know.
Yes, I do.
Then you know why I'm here.
Better than you know yourself, Meison.
Who are you? Why won't you let me come any closer? You know who I am, don't you? Say my name again.
Meison. Meison.
My God.
Yes, I knew the letter existed.
Had you ever seen it before?
Yes, I had seen it before.
Uh-huh. Well, he says he'd written you a whole wheelbarrow full, but he burned the rest of them. How come?
I never asked. I assumed since I came back that there wasn't much need for them.
Why would there be any need for him if he didn't come back? He wrote them to you.
I think it's something that, if you don't understand it, it can't be explained.
No, I guess not.
Would you mind reading that letter for me?
Objection.
Your Honor, wouldn't it be nice for the jury to know what we're talking about here?
Overruled.
Darling, it has not been so long since I last saw you, but I keep going over our goodbyes in my mind, trying to remember every word we said, trying to read what was in your face. Was there some fear or some sadness that I didn't see? Every minute the thought gnaws at me that I might somehow have failed to make you as perfectly happy as you deserve. I know that if I did, you will forgive me. I know, too, that I will be with you again, and I tell you, the time between now and then seems to me impossible to fill or to bear. I am blessed to have, or to see signs of you everywhere around me. Not just your picture and the things you gave me. Whenever I think of the eagle in the Wasatch Mountains, I think of you. Your spirit, and your beauty and your grace. I love you, Cruz.
You still think it's written to you? Your spirit, your beauty, and your grace. It's about you?
I believe that's the way he sees me. It's the way I see him.
But you were supposed dead, and he says here, I know that I will be with you again. Now, does that make sense to you?
Objection.
Your Honor, this is cruel, and he is badgering the witness.
I have to overrule. I think it's very clear what he meant.
Well, those are lovely tears, but are they tears of love or are they tears of guilt?
You know, you're a very sick and disgusting man. Do you think anybody really cares what you think?
You want to get down and dirty? Okay, let's get down and dirty here. You know what you saw through your lover's window that night, and he gave you the line that you always demanded. You were his one and only, but you weren't. And he made a lie the truth by killing your lover.
Авторы сценария Бриджит Добсон, Джером Добсон. Режиссер Рик Беновиц. Телесериал «Санта-Барбара» подготовлен к показу российской государственной компании «Русское видео Санкт-Петербург».